Join me as I take on the challenge of sharing the most valuable lessons I've learned in my 10 years of life experience. Over the decade, I used to believe that time alone would make me wiser. That the years themselves, birthdays, milestones, gray hairs would somehow grant me understanding. But I've learned that time doesn't give you wisdom. It only gives you opportunities to learn, and if you ignore those lessons, time just passes. Wisdom only comes when you stop running and finally listen. So today, I want to share 7 lessons that took me 10 long, tender, complicated years to learn. 7 truths that softened me, humbled me, and helped me become someone I finally recognize and love. Lesson 1. You can't save people who don't want to be saved. For years, I believed love could fix anything. I thought if I just loved someone enough, if I stayed patient, forgiving, and kind, they would eventually rise to meet me. There was a time I poured all of myself into someone who was determined to stay broken. I was the encourager, the rescuer, the constant shoulder. Every time they fell apart, I was there with the glue. Until one day, I realized the glue had run out, and it was me. I had given so much that there was nothing left to hold myself together. One night, after another exhausting argument, I remember standing at the kitchen sink, staring out at the rain tapping softly against the window. I whispered, "Why won't you change?" And somewhere, deep inside, a quieter voice answered, "Because you keep saving them from the consequences that could have." Quote, that night, I finally learned that love cannot do the work someone refuses to do for themselves. And letting go isn't cruel, it's compassionate. For them, and for you. Lesson 2. Peace costs more than you think. There's a quote I once read that said, "Peace is not the absence of chaos, it's the presence of clarity." And clarity comes at a price. I used to think peace was something that just happened when life got easier, but peace is something you fight for. It means saying no to people who expect your yes. It means closing doors that once felt like home. It means walking away from conversations that always leave you anxious, and realizing that silence, though painful, is sometimes the most loving sound in the world. I remember when I stopped answering a phone call that had ruled my nights for years. It was someone who loved drama more than truth. Every call ended with me drained, apologizing for things I didn't do. When I finally hit "Do Not Disturb," I cried. Not because I missed them, but because I missed the version of me that needed their approval. Peace has a price, and once you pay it, you'll never go back to who you were before. Lesson 3. Gratitude doesn't mean settling. For a long time, I confused gratitude with complacency. I thought being thankful meant never wanting more, so I stayed small, quiet, grateful for crumbs, afraid that asking for better meant I wasn't appreciative enough. Then life showed me that gratitude isn't a prison. It's a foundation. It's the voice that says, "Thank you for what I have," and "I'm open to what's next." High of ways. There's a story I love about a woman who planted roses in a cracked pot. Everyone told her it was foolish, but every morning, she watered it anyway. Years later, those roses grew stronger than any others, their roots gripping the flaw that once made them fragile. That's what gratitude taught me. Be thankful for what is, but never stop nurturing what could be. Lesson 4. Not every goodbye is a loss. There was a time when goodbyes terrified me. I held on too tightly to people, to jobs, to dreams that were already fading. I was so afraid of the emptiness that followed that I forgot how to make space for something new. When my best friend of 20 years slowly drifted away, I kept reaching out. She stopped responding to my messages. At first, I thought I'd done something wrong. Then I realized maybe her season in my life had ended. We think of endings as failures, but sometimes they're blessings wrapped in silence, because what's gone often clears the path for what's meant to come. And the truth is, not every goodbye is a loss. Some are quiet forms of rescue. Lesson 5. Healing is not linear. Healing is such a strange thing. Some days you wake up lighter, the memories don't sting as much. Other days, you find yourself crying over something you thought you'd already let go of. And for the longest time, I thought those bad days meant I was going backwards. But healing isn't a straight road, it's a spiral. You circle back to the same places, but each time, you see them with a little more compassion. I once found an old photo, a younger me, smiling beside someone who had hurt me deeply. For a moment, anger rose like a wave, but then, unexpectedly, I smiled. Because that girl in the photo she didn't know yet, and that was okay. That's what healing is. Learning to love every version of yourself, even the ones that didn't know better. Lesson 6. Silence speaks louder than arguments. There was a time when I needed to explain myself to everyone. I wanted to be understood, validated, seen as the good one. But every argument left me emptier because the truth is, people only hear what they're ready to hear. Now, I've learned that silence is not surrender. It's strength. It's choosing peace over being right. One afternoon, years ago, during a family conflict, I stopped mid-sentence. I realized nothing I said would change what they believed. So instead of defending myself, I stood up, hugged my coat around me, and walked outside. The air was cool, the sky pale gray, and for the first time, I felt free. Silence taught me something words never could. You don't have to participate in every misunderstanding you're invited to. Lesson 7. Joy is a choice, not a reward. For years, I thought happiness was something I had to earn, something waiting for me after I fixed everything, achieved everything, healed everything. But one morning, while washing dishes, sunlight spilled through the window. There was music playing faintly from the next room, and for a brief moment, I smiled for no reason. That's when I understood. Joy isn't at the end of the road. It's the small moments you collect along the way coffee smells in the morning, the sound of laughter from someone you love, the way rain sounds on the roof when you have nowhere to be. Joy is not a prize, it's a practice. Looking back now, these 7 lessons were never really separate. They wove themselves together like threads in the same fabric. Each one taught me something about letting go, holding on, and finding peace in between. We spend so much of life chasing what's next, believing wisdom will arrive in some grand moment of clarity. But most of the time, it comes quietly while folding laundry, sitting by the window, or forgiving someone who never said sorry. Wisdom doesn't shout, it whispers. And the longer you live, the more you realize it's not about having answers, it's about making peace with the questions. So, if you take anything from my story today, let it be this. You will keep learning, over and over again. The same lessons will visit you until you truly understand them. And that's not failure, that's growth. Sometimes, it takes 10 years to learn what the heart tried to tell you the first time. But when you finally do, life softens. You soften, and peace, at last, feels like home. If this spoke to your heart, stay with me. There's more to feel, more to learn, and more to heal together.